Praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, spreading the good news of the gospel, teaching this truth throughout the earth, and who rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing the word to the four corners of the earth in all sincerity and risking their life to do so.
Khan, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, wa abab abal. All right, so I was talking about a video at camp today, and I happened to find the video,
Zelensky will take place tomorrow,
or one just like it, and we're going to go into this information of the jobs failing, okay? The jobs are failing in America, and there's many signs of this. It tells you that the spirit of Egypt will fail. Go to Isaiah 19
Isaiah 19.
and 1. Let me play this.
That exists now cannot continue. It cannot continue. Michael Burry just quit his own fund because he says he doesn't understand anymore why things are the way they are. It's very simple. If the Ponzi goes to zero, it's all over for everyone. And it will go to zero. It's just like, okay, when is that going to happen? They're willing to do anything possible to keep it going because when it breaks, there is no going back, okay? So be comfortable being uncomfortable. The illusion of stability is almost entirely gone, but it hasn't quite shattered yet for the majority of the population. You will never again have a stable job. You will never again have a stable economy. We are entering a multipolar world with just an absolutely insane Ponzified economy, completely financialized, with political systems that lack any legitimacy. And in these conditions, what I'll say is you need to expect the unexpected and have redundancies. And honestly, you need to understand that 60-40 split for your stock portfolio, these Roth IRAs. God, dude, the stock market as it exists now cannot continue. It cannot continue. Michael Burry just quit his own fund because he says he doesn't understand anymore why things are the way they are. It's very simple.
And we know why, because the prophecies, right? Go ahead, Yuko.
Okay, we're going to start at, what would you say?
Isaiah 19 and 1.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Isaiah, oops, right here. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1, it reads, "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it."
Which is the prophecy of the nuclear destruction when Yahweh sends his son and the host of heaven. All right. Egypt is going to melt, which is America. All right. These are signs of that destruction coming. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2 reads, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom."
Right. So you're going to have race wars and you're going to have World War III. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 3, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards."
Which Trump is a wizard, Nero. All right. The king of Babylon, he's deceiving the people, saying everything's getting better, but really everything's collapsing. All right. It's imploding upon itself. Go ahead. One more verse.
The book of Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hands of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts."
Which, go one more.
Okay.
It's actually 5 I wanted you to stop at. But that cruel Lord is Nero. All right. Which he's been revealed doing some weirdo shit, right? Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 5, "And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up."
Which it's going to be a nuclear destruction after the prophets there's going to be a famine of the word. They're going to persecute us, and the Lord's going to avenge us. That's Revelation 18, 20, and 21 verse. All right, the Lord's going to melt the heart of Egypt with nuclear missiles.
More layoffs are coming in January 2026. I woke up today to the headline in Newsweek, quote, mass layoffs coming in January 2026, end quote. You can check this out in Newsweek and probably many other sources. We were already at COVID level, pandemic level unemployment. Our average is 4.6%, but it's as high as 6% in other states. You can check and see if you're getting laid off by checking warntracker.com.
And the thing is, that's what they know, that's documented, right? There's people that already gave up on the workforce, and they're not even applying for work or even making themselves be known for the jobs. You know, they're not registering at the workforce search, you know, that you have in your local communities or online. They gave up. So there's more people unemployed than they're telling you about, all right? And that's why the only job that's gonna be is an agent, all right? And with that activity, they're gonna make you have to have an implantable microchip, the mark of the beast, all right? Which I got a picture of it so you could see it, because a picture or an image is worth 1,000 words, all right? So the implantable microchip is the mark of the beast. All right. And this is what they're going to make mandatory for buying and selling. They're going to devalue the dollar. The jobs are going to dry up. All right. And there's going to be chaos through different activities of agents. All right. Once again, I recommend you watch that movie, One Battle After Another, which shows you the different forms of agent activity that they use to bring forth their laws upon the citizens, right? There'll be protests over an unjust decree, all right? And they'll put agents in the crowd to do things that break the laws so that they could bring more laws upon the people. All right. And we're going to see that. That's why they're telling you, be ready for these terrorist attacks, because really they're the ones behind it. All right. The elite fund it, the so-called white race. All right. Which they have an elite that rule through America. All right. And they use America for leading the world into wickedness. All right. And they use Jake as the face of it. That's why you have the music industry, the movie industry, all right, even Jake in the politics, because Jake is really the one that they use to manipulate the other nations. They follow Israel first. And that's why when we go into righteousness, these other nations, they're going to follow us, all right? They're going to be re-educated in slavery. But Esau, Edom, they're not going to be able to coexist with us under the righteousness of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So their lot is extinction. That's what their future holds. They're going to be made extinct after 1,000 years because they're wicked. So how could we have a earth that's in peace if you got wicked men on earth, the so-called white race, which the Edomites are going to be made extinct at the end of 1,000 years. This is in the Bible. All right?
I got one here.
Go ahead.
1 John chapter 2, verse 15 reads, KJV, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Right? The love of the Father is not in him, the ones that are loving the world. Because really, if you really love the Father, you're praying for him to send his son to earth to set the earth in order. But if you don't love him, you want the world to remain in its wicked activity. See, and that's why we're praying Abba Babal. All right, every day we're praying Abba Babal, that the Lord bring that prophecy of judgment upon this place. 2025 was the year that we prayed for judgment upon Babylon, our oppressor, and salvation for the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, go ahead.
1 John chapter 2 verse 16 reads, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world."
Right, so to get a job, get a car, right, grow in the wealth, right, go from poor to rich, buy a house, have a family, build a company, all these false American dreams, that's of the pride of life, right? You want all this money so you could go travel the world and all this shit. Fuck all that shit, man. The world is in World War already, all right? But once it's really engaged, you're going to have Armageddon where they're sending troops to the Valley of Slaughter, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, to die there. You see? And you got Jake. They're thinking nothing's going to happen. All right? They're sending letters out to young men telling them to re-register with the Selective Service because there's going to be a draft. Right? America's stirring up war in Africa, South America, Asia, right? There's going to be war all over the world, but eventually it's going to be concentrated over there in the land of Israel, down from Turkey to Yemen. All right? So the Lord is telling us to let go of this world. It's going to end the way of this world. All right? And it's ending already. All right? I was showing you that video. Jobs are drying up. Right? The stock market, they're telling you it's going to crash. And all this was created to fail. It was all created to fail. The Lord told us it was going to fail. Go ahead. You got more?
1 John chapter 2 verse 17, "And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of power abideth forever."
Abideth forever. Because the word of the Lord endureth forever. See, and the Israelites, the Lord doesn't change, so we're not consumed completely. So that's what this place is. The earth is a proving ground for who are the faithful Israelites and who are not. Go to Isaiah 14 and 1.
Isaiah 14 and 1.
And even Post Malone, I'm going to use the Copyright Act of Section 107 so I could educate using this copyright material. I'm not making any profit, all right? No income from this information. I'm just sharing it and reporting it as part of prophecy, all right? And this is Vocab Malone before they either replaced him or, they destroyed him. Because if you know what he looks like now, he looks horrible. But this was before that. Watch what he says.
Declared, or whenever the credit cards fail, whenever your cards fail, whenever your banks fail, and you can't use your card anymore, you have 3 days to get out of where you are, because that's when they're coming for you. That's the big move. That's checkmate right there. And they think they have you. But move out to the country, get your scraps, stand up for yourself, build a tower, build a long road to where you can see them coming. Don't give up. America. The biggest lies of the U.S. government, it's not what it used to be. It used to be so sick and about the people and about freedom and all that, but now it's just bullshit. Now it's a reality show, and I think there's going to be a lot of weird shit that happens within our lifetime and within our generation that really changes the way of the world. So move somewhere, because whenever martial law is declared, or whenever the credit cards fail, whenever your cards fail, whenever your banks fail and you can't use your card anymore, you have 3 days to get out of where you are. That's when they're coming for you. That's the big move. That's checkmate right there. And they think they have you. But move out to the country, get your scraps.
So, as you heard, he's telling you when the banks fail. That's the main point. When the banks fail, they're going to have to go to martial law, because that's when the people are going to go into the streets and become violent. When they don't have the ability to buy bread, to buy liquor, to take themselves out to these fast foods and eat, right? The job ain't there no more. All right, that's when you're gonna have these people in the streets, and they're gonna tear the cities apart. This is biblical prophecy. All right, and they're gonna cause these soldiers to come in, and you're gonna have war in the streets of America. It's gonna be a bloodbath according to prophecy. All right, go ahead.
Con. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1, KJV. For the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Right, they're cleaving on to the house of Jacob through the prophets using the YouTube, teaching you the truth. So Israelites throughout the world, they're able to hear this truth in their language and believe on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai as we prophesy Yahweh sending his son Yahweh Shai back to save us. Who's going to save us? Not a gun, not a tower, all right? But Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Our faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? Go ahead.
Con. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressor.
Right, so we're eventually going to get the heathen as our slaves. All right? Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 3, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
Which we're slaves to debt. We're subject to debt. Anything you do, you have to pay for it. You want to die, you got to pay to be buried. You got to ask for permission. You want to be born, have a child, you got to pay. You got to ask for permission. All right, you want to get married, you got to ask for permission because we're slaves. All right? But the Lord's bringing us out of slavery. That's why we don't have yokes of iron on our neck. All right? Because the Lord is raising the standard for us. And Esau, he wants to come down with great wrath and try to get everyone to take that implantable microchip and kill those, murder those that reject it. And that's why Yahweh is going to have to send his son Yahweh Shai for the elect's sake, or no flesh would be saved. He's going to have to shorten the days. All right? Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased.
Meaning stop, as if it was Sabbath, right? Remember, on this last Sabbath, the Day of Atonement, which was a Sabbath day, all right, that was the starting of the longest shutdown America's ever seen in history. Why is this place shutting down? Why are there no more jobs? They're trying to tell you that they're so advanced they don't need people. It's a lie. Really, the Lord is shutting it down. All right, and they're trying to save it by bringing out this microchip, which that invention was given to them to condemn them. All right, because they're going to try to count us, and it's going to bring a condemnation upon them. All right, nuclear destruction. Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah chapter 14, verse 5, the Lord Yahweh had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
Which that's who's destroying this place. You want to know where the jobs are shutting down? The Lord's not dealing with this place no more. Hey, today it was the Manifest Destiny birthday. All right? I look up the history every day, and it reveals a lot of things, though. But today, right here, you can see it for yourself. All right? December 27th, 1845. It says, having coined the phrase, quote, manifest destiny, the previous July journalist John L. Sullivan argued in his newspaper, New York Morning News that the United States had the right to claim the entire Oregon country, which they went from the west to the east, slaughtering the Native American Indians, the Mexicans, right? The Northern Kingdom that was here in North America, they were slaughtering them with manifest destiny, all right? Which they were given this through the Lord's will on the left-hand side to punish us. But now that we're repenting, it ain't going to work, all right? They're going to try to do it again. They're going to try to slaughter the Israelites, all right, to have some form of power, but it's not going to work like it did this time. The Lord was with you to do this to us because it was part of our punishment. But now that we're repenting, you don't have the right to do this to the anointed, to the elect. Now, these 2/3, you could go in their house and fuck them up and nothing happened to you because you're doing the Lord's will. But you touch his anointed, it's going to be your ass. Which you've already done. You've already touched his son back in the first Roman pagan empire. All right, which America is the reincarnated Roman Empire. And it's going to pay for what the first Roman pagan empire did to Yahushua and to all the Israelites. What these Edomites done as Greeks, as Romans, even back when they were Edomites. All right, when they were the serpent, when they were the serpent in the Garden of Eden that deceived Eve. All right, the Cain, when they were as Cain. All right, remember that we just as the Israelites had multiple lifetimes on earth, the Edomites had multiple lifetimes also, and they done the same shit they're doing now. See, and when you go into the reason of the flood, it tells you it was because the deception that serpent brought into the world through Eve, bringing death on earth. See, and that's what this devil does. He murders. He lies and he robs. All right? So that's what they're trying to do now with their executive orders and shutting down the jobs, the resources. Eventually there's going to be famine. All right? Go ahead.
Con says, Isaiah chapter 14, verse 6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted.
Hey, what did Trump do on Christmas? Their so-called Christmas. He dropped bombs on poor people, which he claims those were soldiers, but that's an apartment complex that he burned down with families in it. It wasn't soldiers, right? And he's claiming that he's doing it in the name of Christianity. Where's that at? That you're supposed to shoot missiles onto people that persecute Christians. That's not in the Bible. The one that calls fire down from heaven like that is the devil. Through your missiles, you have that power together with the beast, European Union, which you have NATO. That shows you're an Edomite. All right? Go ahead.
Con Isaiah chapter 14 reads verse 6, anger is persecuted and none hindereth.
Meaning when it's your turn, no one's going to try to get involved to try to help you. Because have you ever helped anyone? No. You murder without any mercy. So you're not going to receive mercy from any of the nations. All right? But all the nations are going to be enslaved under the Israelites. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 7, it reads, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing.
See, the whole earth is going to rejoice because of the so-called white man's destruction. The earth is going to finally be at peace. See, the people are going to be able to rejoice after this devil is made extinct. See, because this devil, the so-called white man, his blessing is the sword and to take away the peace from the earth. That's why it's not worth going to buy a land and trying to make a ranch and a farm. They're going to go over there and disturb you. They're gonna burn your ranch down. They're gonna cite you with, oh, you broke this rule or that rule. Now you forfeit your property. They're gonna have racist bastards harassing you. All right. So there's no peace here. This is not our rest. This is captivity. That's why we don't get rest here. We don't get peace. As soon as you got, a little progress, something's gonna get in your way to bring you down back to poverty. That's why these Jake that make a lot of money, what do? They throw them in prison, and they gotta waste all that money trying to fight a case. I got one with a little Boosie. Watch, I'll show you. It's all rigged. It's an illusion, just as that man said in that first video. It's an illusion that you're living in. You think because you have a little money that you're all right, but really it's an illusion. Overnight they could tell you your money's no good, or that it's illegal for you to have that money. All right, and that you are needing implantable microchip. All right, that's where it's heading. It's heading to the implantable microchip. Let me see here. I just had that one too. Because he said, that little Boosie, he said, they might get you a lawyer and it costs you $100,000 just to have that lawyer. And they do it on purpose because they want to eat up your money, your profit. So you're over here breaking your back trying to be rich, and it's going out of, it's like sand in your hand, Let me see. Here it is.
You'll never see a record with a major. You'll never see a check from a major because they're gonna add all kind of stuff with it. You're gonna go take 3-4 trips and your bill gonna rise. Every Uber, every hotel room. It goes on a, and you always in debt. You be like, man, I sold this, but I'm in debt.
Because it goes back to the label.
It gotta go back to the label, and you don't know what they charging.
All type of,
Yeah, you don't know what they charging these people. They can say we had to get this lawyer for this for you, and the lawyer was $150,000. The lawyer probably was $10,000.
Right.
But the lawyer gonna sign off on it too.
How
Get
is
his tax cut. Somebody give you $100,000. You'll never see a record with a major. You'll never see a check from a major because they're gonna add all kinds.
See? So you think these movie stars and singers are rich and enjoying life, but they're not. They're in debt. All right? They're poor. That's why they never stop. They're always doing, even in their senior years, they're still doing shows. They're still fighting after retirement because it's all an illusion. All right? So don't buy into this illusion that somehow you're going to get a good job and buy your way out of slavery. It tells you in Deuteronomy 28:68, no man shall buy you. You cannot escape this. It's only by Yahweh sending his son Yahweh Shai that we are escaping this. All right? And Yahweh Shai is going to bring the so-called white man down by putting in the heart of these other kings to shoot nuclear missiles on this place. All right? Go ahead.
Gone. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 8. Verse 8. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fowler is come up against us.
But what do? They chop the trees down for what? To just try to destroy us. As Greeks and Romans, they chopped down those trees in Lebanon to siege Jerusalem. You see? So the earth is mourning under the wicked. All right? But when this devil goes down, it's going to rejoice. All right? Because really, who are oppressing us are childish, evil, wicked men. All right? They're wasteful. They misuse the earth. All right? They pollute it. All right? Like right now with this drug war. All right? They're the biggest drug dealers in the world. That's what they're doing. They're just killing competition. If they're if they're murdering anybody, they're murdering competition. That's all it is. That's why Chapo is here in Colorado, because he stepped on somebody's toes. That's why Duterte, the president of the Philippines, ex-Philippine president, is in European Union prison. All right, because he stepped on someone's toes with his drug war. See? Let me show you a video.
We got to talk about it. So Boston Small says, he's in the show a lot today. Shout out to this guy. Bro is 100% coked out. That's a man who's been hitting the slopes. So the speculation is that Marco Rubio, or as now how everybody on the internet is referring to him, is Narco Rubio. Narco Rubio here is in full Miami mode. He's in full Miami mode, and you're about to see he's got all sorts of fucking sniffs and twitches and touching and moving and this and that. And it looks like he might be into some of that booger sugar, y'all. That's what it looks like. So let's take a look, and then we'll do our little diagnosis.
Yes, sir.
Vladimir Putin today.
I thought you were introducing yourself.
No, no.
I'm Vladimir.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Vladimir.
What are you
Putin,
doing here?
Nick Schiffer in PBS NewsHour. Vladimir Putin had his own end-of-year press
Today?
conference.
Okay, so that lip thing that he just did, how he went like, that's a coke thing. That's a cocaine thing. Another thing that's a cocaine thing is called jawing, where you chew a lot, like you move your jaw a lot. That's called jawing. That's also a coke thing. And if you look closely at the beginning, watch this.
Yes, sir.
Vladimir Putin today.
So notice the nose thing. That's also a coke thing. So we were only how many seconds in? 15, something like that. And I already saw two signs. And if you look at the eyes too, the eyes were looking a little cokey too.
Yes, sir.
Vladimir Putin today.
Sign one.
I thought you were introducing yourself.
No, no.
I'm Vladimir.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Vladimir.
Look at his eyes. Okay. That's sign two.
What are you doing here?
Nick Schiffer in PBS NewsHour. Vladimir Putin had his own end-of-year
Tongue thing. 3. That we're 13 seconds in. There's already 3 signs.
press
Today?
conference today.
Oh, he's trying to step on my message.
Yeah. His went, I think, 4 hours. So we.
He keeps doing that. He keeps doing all the coke stuff, the coke mouth stuff.
Oh, he's trying to step on my message.
Yeah. His went, I think, 4 hours. So we got,
well, don't worry
at least
about
3
that.
hours. And he said he was willing to end the war in
I bet you he
Ukraine.
didn't do it in Spanish.
He did not.
All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. He said he was willing to end the war in Ukraine based on principles he had outlined last summer, and that included a complete Ukrainian withdrawal from 4 regions.
Yeah, the fidgetiness, the mouth stuff. Yeah, this is they're onto something.
Which are not occupied by Russia. Recognition of
He
occupied
can't stop with the mouth. I'm beginning to be convinced.
by Russian territory in Ukraine and the complete lifting of sanctions. That goes beyond some of the recent conversations.
So the proof is there in the pudding, right? That we're being oppressed by wicked men. All right? They're lying to you. They're fork-tongued devils. They're telling you they're trying to stop drugs, but they're the biggest drug addicts. All right? They're telling you that they're trying to stop human trafficking, but Trump's on the Epstein list. See? And this is why you're wicked if you want this place to continue. And the 2/3 of the Israelites that are in America are wicked. All right? Because they're in love with the wicked devil, the so-called white man. Grab Isaiah 3 and 10.
Isaiah 3 and 10.
And grab it in the NLT.
Isaiah. Let me see. Okay, Isaiah 3 and 10. And this reads Isaiah chapter 3. We're going to verse 10. This reads, say ye, this is KJV, say
No,
ye,
NLT.
or NLT. This is the NLT. Tell the godly that all will be well for them. They will enjoy the rich reward they have earned.
But we've earned it through Yahushai's sacrifice. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 3 verse 11. But the wicked are doomed, for they will get exactly what they deserve.
That they're going to get exactly what they deserve. What are they doing? They're dropping missiles on people's heads. killing people that had nothing to do with what they're saying. Since they've had the missile. All right? Look what they did in Japan. They dropped atomic bombs on cities that were not military. All right? They were not militarized. In fact, they were so-called Christian cities in Japan. All right? You can look that up. That's a fact. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12 reads, childish leaders oppress my people, and women rule over them. Oh, my people, your leaders mislead you. They send you down the wrong road.
Right? And don't they have women in power? Kamala, right? They got Pam Bondi. They got all these women that are in positions of power over men. And the men, it says, are what? Childish. That's what you just saw. That man all coked out, and he's supposed to be a leader of America, going against so-called narcos, right? And he's really what it is America's the biggest dealer, and they're just moving competition out the way. All right? There's many reports or whistleblowers of them moving narcotics on these military ships. Right, which you just had Nero Trump come out and say they're about to build the biggest warships, right? And there's reports of these warships protecting drug cartels because they are drug cartels, all right? All the way down to your local police officers, all the way up to the main henchmen. Why do you think they were finding dope in the White House? You see?
They even said Elon, what's his name, Musk? He's on some stuff because some of the things that he's doing are out, his behavior.
Yeah, they're out of order.
This is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 13. The Lord Yahweh takes his place in court and presents his case against his people. 14. The Lord Yahweh comes forward to pronounce judgment on the elders and rulers of his people.
Right, which that's how Jacob's trouble is going to start, with men that they know the truth and they're not living correctly. All right, or they're teaching false doctrines. Jacob's trouble starts with them elders. Jump in Isaiah, what is it?
Did you want me to finish this one though?
Yeah, finish that verse.
Okay.
And it's Ezekiel 9.
Ezekiel 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Rest of Isaiah chapter 3, it reads in that verse, you have ruined Israel, my vineyard. Your houses are filled with things stolen from the poor.
But they robbed us of our gold cities, including Jerusalem. You got the counterfeits in that land. But in these last days, they're going to have troops go into your house and rob you of your peace. That's Zechariah 14, 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16. There's many scriptures about this. All right? Isaiah 13. All right? They're going to flood the streets with foreign soldiers. And they're going to go into your home, all right, and spoil your goods, which includes your piece of so-called pride of life, right? You thinking that you're going to just work until you die? That ain't going to happen. These places are going to get shut down, and America's going to become a war zone. Because what is America doing? They're dropping bombs on people's houses. And these people, even that skinhead survival, full spectrum, he said it's only a matter of time till these people that Trump is hurting with his ability to drop missiles on them, they eventually strike back against the American people. And even Putin, this year in 2025, the year that we hope for the judgment of the wicked and the salvation of the righteous, you had Putin put out a message to the American people. Hey, we're just trying to live, but you're over here fucking us up with your behavior over there, with your government. You know? So it's only going to lead to a war, and it's going to be a nuclear war, and America's going to lose this war. All right, according to prophecy, they're going to be turned into a lake of fire by nuclear missiles. Go ahead.
Come on. Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 1.
I'll go ahead and just jump down to 4.
Okay, Ezekiel chapter 9, let's go to verse 4, and this reads, And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Right, so we're sighing and crying about the sin of Israel. And Esau don't like that because their kingdom was created on the sin of Israel. They want you to sin. That's why this place is literally the kingdom of the wicked. Because to survive here, you literally have to sin. You have to bribe. You got to be bribed, right? You're working with another man's wife right next to you, right? And that's how adultery happens. It's just wicked on many levels, all right? Nothing is just here, all right? In fact, the more wicked you are, like Diddy, the more rich you get because you're out there corrupting other Israelites, right? You're abused and being abused. See, so this is it's the reason why Esau is known as the man of sin, and he's the son of perdition. He's going into destruction, starting with his kingdom. America is going to be turned into a lake of fire. Go ahead.
Come on. Ezekiel 9, chapter 9, verse 5, and to the others he said in my hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
Right, so once the elect are sealed completely, there's no mercy no more. That's why there's going to be a famine of the word. There ain't no reason for us to be out here preaching no more. All the Israelites of the elect heard the word. They received the Holy Spirit because they believed. And there's no reason for us to prophesy no more on the internet. So there's going to be a famine of the word and persecution. And these reprobates are going to receive no more mercy. There's no more mercy. The mercy is us telling you the truth. But there ain't going to be no more mercy. That's why Amos 8 and 11, the famine of the word. There's going to be a merciless slaughter on these people of Babylon the Great, which they gave to the world. How many people did they mercilessly slaughter throughout the world? The American government, which says they're doing the will of the American people. Which the American people are not revolting, so it must be the will of the American people. That's what Putin is saying. Your government's out here doing all this crazy shit and you ain't doing nothing about it, so you must be for it. See? Mm-hmm. So that's why eventually it's going to lead to these other nations shooting missiles on Babylon the Great. Because they've tried to negotiate. They've tried to make deals. But you can't please these people. They have everything. They rule the world. But it's not enough. See, they want to bring out that implantable microchip and put it inside everybody's body. They're trying to be God. They got a God complex. All right, and the Lord's going to humble them. He's going to destroy their kingdom. Just like Nebuchadnezzar. And he told, Daniel told Belshazzar that. He said, when your granddad, which he said your father, when your father got proud, what did the Lord do to him? He threw him out of his throne. Made him like a beast in the earth. And you don't remember that? Esau, you don't remember your people being cavemen, Neanderthals? Of course you do. All right, that's why you hide the truth, because you got to hide it, because it comes back into your face, right? Just like our reality comes back in our face about us being Israelites, right? Well, Esau is confronted about his truth of him being the wicked, the devil. And that's why they're upset. That's why you have Vance, the vice president, saying that we don't have to apologize for being white. Why would he make that comment? but this truth has reached the highest levels. And they hear the truth coming out, and that's why they're scrambling. And the only answer they're going to come to is we got to slaughter all these Israelites. But see, that's when the Lord's going to send his son to fight for us. All right, go ahead.
Ezekiel 9, chapter 9, verse 6, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
Which are elders. That word there is zaquanium, which means elders. So men that are in the truth, but they're not right in the truth. They're in for different reasons. All right, whether they're spies, they're agents, they're spies of Satan, meaning the spirit of Satan, or they're working with the so-called white man, the vessel of Satan. All right, and they took the bag like Genesis. All right, or even Alazar and Sakari. Right, they're doing that sodomite activity. That's agent activity. That's straight up agent activity. Watch that movie. They battle one battle after another. They show you all those agents are sodomites. That's why when you go into the prison systems, they sodomite you. All right? Because they're turning you into an agent. All right? That's what they do. They make you betray yourself so that you have no standard. See? But the Lord raised the standard for the elect of Israel, and that's why we're standing upon our feet and we're condemning our enemy to their face in their own kingdom. And they're trying to find out what they could do with us. Because we're stand-up citizens. We're not doing nothing illegal. We're not committing crimes. We're stand-up citizens. We're not running red lights. We're not doing anything illegal. We're just telling the truth. All right? And they're trying to come up with ways to put us to death. All right? And they're going to, all right, sacrifice some of the elect, few of them, but this main judgment is for the Edomite and those reprobates that are for Esau. They're going to be caught up in it. They've devised many ways.
Possible, emitting soothing white noise and putting prisoners on a cushioned seat. The device is designed to be as humane as possible, emitting soothing white noise and putting prisoners on a cushioned seat before its metallic talons dig into their necks and painlessly wrench their heads off. Ohio Department of Corrections Director Gary Moore praised the machine, saying, quote, "Our new system is a hallmark of compassion. Now these deaths will be pain-free because the machine's claws are coated with topical anesthetic." Quickly pulling off a prisoner's head is considered less cruel than lethal injection, which requires 3 separate chemicals to first stop the prisoner's breathing, then paralyze their muscles, and then finally induce cardiac arrest, while this new method of quickly crushing the detached head ensures a mercifully swift conclusion. Psychologists believe the new method also eases the mental burden on...
See that? They got a machine that they don't even need someone to run it. It does it automatically, like beheading a chicken. Now I have a conveyor belt of people being beheaded by machines. All right? Why did they devise these devices? If there's a future here. You see? Here's one pertaining to the missiles they dropped in Nigeria.
Yesterday we saw the invasion of a sovereign state in Africa, authorized by Donald Trump. The U.S. Army invaded Nigeria yesterday on Christmas Day. I put it to Americans, how would you like it if Africa invades the U.S. to protect democracy
on December 25th,
See?
2025?
So that's what's going to happen. These other nations are going to get tired. And really, they're in the bag of the elite. All right? And the plan is them unleashing these soldiers in the streets of America, and it's to get you to take that implantable microchip. All right? They're going to use chaos to bring forth a new world order. And the order is that everyone have an implantable microchip. Go ahead. If you got something, I was gonna say, drop that Isaiah. We don't need that no more.
Okay. This is Revelation chapter 21, verse 28. I'm going to go to the KJV. What did I say? Revelation 21, I guess. Let's see. Go to Revelation 21, verse 8. Well, this is the new heaven and earth, but he talks about
Which is us ruling in the Edomite and these other nations as our slaves. That's what new heaven and the new earth is talking about.
but in verse 8, KJV reads, but the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Which is that nuclear destruction. All right? So all these devils, right, including the 2/3 of our own people that reject the truth, they're going to be in the lake of fire. All right? But the elect, they're going to receive salvation because of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai's promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which it was given to the Israelites as a law and now being reconfirmed with the Israelites, starting with the elect in these last days. All right? That's why there's going to be a remnant saved. If the Lord didn't shorten the days, no flesh would be saved. Because this devil, he's coming down with great wrath. He got a machine that tears your head off in a moment.
Oh.
Fast. They don't even need a man to lose, his appetite because he couldn't do it pushing the button. They got a robot push that button. See? And they're a weapon of mass destruction.
Hurry up, down that tunnel.
See? They go in your village, rape your women, your children, beat you up, destroy your food, your water, piss in your water, and then burn your house down. And what you supposed to do, just say thank you? That's what they're about to do again here in America. All right, they're going to go through these houses, rape the women, the children, even the men. A lot of these soldiers are sodomites. Watch that movie. One battle after another. All right? And then burn the house with you in it. They're going to come down with great wrath, knowing that they have but a short time. That's 2nd Ezra 15. All right? That they're going to come down with pride, all right, thinking that they could slaughter us, but the Lord's going to save us from this Egypt. He's going to bring plagues as he did before on ancient Egypt. All right?
I got one too.
Go ahead.
Read the book of Isaiah chapter 13, verse 11, KJV. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
Which is these Edomites. Which that's Isaiah 13. Go ahead.
12 reads, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Ophir, which that's dealing with the Israelite elect men. And we're going to be more precious than fine gold because in that day, the thing that's going to be saved are those men. Gold ain't going to save you. Guns ain't going to save you. Prepping, like, one of these people trying to survive the last days by prepping, building bunkers, that's not going to save you. All right, what's going to save you is the Lord, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, and the salvation is only for the Israelite elect. 2/3 are going to die here in America. And the heathen, they don't have no salvation. Go ahead and go on more on that.
Okay. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 13 reads, Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger.
which is the nuclear destruction. You're going to have nuclear destruction in America, turning it into a lake of fire, and then over in the land, the promised land, the land of Israel, there's going to be destruction because of the mountain of troops that are gathered there, Armageddon, which Yahweh Shai is going to turn into dust and smoke with the chariot fire. All right, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 14. And it shall be as the chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land.
And that's what's going to happen. They're going to flee from here because the jobs are going to shut down. The businesses are going to shut down. All right. So these people that have money that own these businesses, like these other nations that lick the wounds of the Lord's people to get rich, they're going to flee from this country and go back to their own country, go back to their own people. All right. And leave the Israelites here to perish pretty much. All right, because the Israelites, for the most part, are the poor. All right, and we're being persecuted. They're not going to allow us just to leave. All right, like Pharaoh, he didn't allow the Israelites to leave. All right, give me 1 second. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
They're going to die. All right, some form. All right, death is going to come upon them. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 16. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished.
Right there, it tells you ravished. They're going to go into your house, grab your kids by their foot, and break their head open, and then take the women and do their business with them, and eat your good and drink your stuff and slap you with the end of their gun. See? And what's going to save you? The ones that have salvation are Israelites, starting with the elect that repent from their sin in Yahweh's sending Yahweh Shai in Yahweh Shai's return. We're repenting, washing ourselves in this word, hoping to be saved at Yahweh Shai's return. Because this, what we're about to go through, is going to be worse than anything ever been seen on earth. All right? It's going to be worse than Vietnam. It's going to be worse than the slavery that Jake suffered here in America. It's going to be worse than 70 AD, which they were cannibalizing each other. All right? During the invasion, the siege of Israel by the Assyrian Babylonians, they had cannibalism. They shut off the water. They clogged up the stream. They dammed it, so there was no water. And Jake was ready to give up quick. All right, they said, hey, if the Lord don't help us in a couple days, we got to give up. That's how weak they got right away. So just thinking this time when there ain't no lights, there's no groceries, there's no peace in the streets, the water's shut off, oh, they're going to take the chip. Majority of these people are going to take the chip. All right, we're hoping that the Lord preserves us from the hour of temptation. All right, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
Right, because they're going digital. And the Medes are the Russians. That's who's in that land of the Medes, is the Russians today. And what it said, he's stirring them up. All right, and he's going to put a hook in their jaw and force them to confront the Edomites of America and the land of Israel. All right, because this is why the Euphrates River is drying up. To fulfill prophecy, the kings of the east are going to come into that land. That's how you're going to have all them troops gathered in that valley. All right, and America's going to be involved in that World War III. And a lot of these so-called American citizens are going to be sent off, especially the men, to those wars to die. All right? And that's why when these soldiers come through, there ain't going to be no men to fight. It's going to be nothing but women and children.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Go ahead.
Con. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 18 reads, "Their bulls also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children."
Which is talking about those nuclear missiles. The bows is those missiles being shut off, and when they destroy this place, they're not going to care about a child or a pregnant woman or a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to destroy it all the same. All right? It's all going to become a lake of fire, and they're all going to be caught up in this destruction. Even 2/3 of the nation of Israel, because they rejected the truth. All right? And they're rejecting it right now. We read it earlier in Ezekiel 9, verse 4. The Holy Spirit's going around, and when you hear these videos, you hear the scriptures coming out. How are you processing it? So, it tells you some people hate hearing the Lord's word. Well, the Lord's knowing this, he knows all things, but the process is he has angels documenting it. And see, when you're in that lake of fire, it's going to be revealed to you that the Lord's been watching all this take place. And he's going to show it. They tell you, you live your life over while you're dying. It flashes before your eyes, your history. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to be in that lake of fire, and all the times you heard the truth and you despised it. Ugh, I hate these people. It's going to come back into your face,
They don't like their demise, huh?
and you're not going to be able to shut it off. You're not going to be able to turn it off. You're not going to be able to pull away from it. You're going to be stuck in that lake of fire until the Lord's done showing your history. And, it's not going to burn forever like they say in hell, and the false doctrine the Christians teach you, where you're going to burn for eternity. That's not real. But you're going to be in that lake of fire and eventually turn to dust, and eventually, the fire is going to go out and there's going to be a desert. All right? Which this is what we're trying to escape. We're trying to escape that second death, the nuclear destruction of Babylon the Great. Through what means? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We know the gun can't save you. A bunker can't save you. Storing up food and water can't save you. Shit, this food turns to worms. Brand new food, you freaking open it up and there's already fucking maggots in this shit.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna store that shit up and then when you need it, it's gonna be worms? You see? Or poisonous. They're poisoning the foods too.
GMOs?
Yep. They just declared, Nero, he said, hey, don't be shocked to find fentanyl in the food. In the water, in the air, aerosol fentanyl. All right, and they're going to blame everybody but themselves. All right? But it's a tactic of the so-called white man. Look at what they did with the smallpox and the blankets. Look what they did with the opium and the Chinese. Look what they've done in their history, and you'll know who's doing it, exactly who's doing it. All right, it's the so-called white man. And these other nations are confederate with them against the Israelite. All right? But they're going to find themselves fighting against the Lord. Go ahead, Jacob.
God. Reading on Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19, and it says, "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees."
Chaldeans.
Oh, it says Chaldees. It's like G's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chaldees. Yeah, Chaldees.
Chaldees.
Excellency. Which were the Babylonian witches. All right, that's what you're dealing with now, is the Babylonian witches. All right? Why do you think they're manipulating the people through smooth words? Right? Using witchcraft, polluting your food. See? Because they're the devil. They're doing the same things that the witches did back in Egypt, what they did in Babylon, the Magi in Babylon. But you had those all forms of witchcraft, all the way up to the Persians, the Medes and the Persians, then the Greeks and the Romans. Right? They all had forms of witchcraft. But what it was the Israelites were in that land in captivity in Babylon. And so they wanted the Israelites, because what happens is the Lord, he has more favor on us. So when they have us, it makes their society prosper because of us. Like America. The reason America's great is because the Israelite is here. The reason why when we go back into the land is going to be, everybody's eyes going to be over there is because we're going to be over there. The Lord made us the salt of the earth. You see? And that's why they're fighting over us and fighting over that land. Because with us is power. All right? And that power, he has a name. His name is Yahweh. And he allowed us to go into slavery because we sinned. But now through his son Yahweh Shai, the power is allowing us to reconcile with him through the remission of sin in Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
The Chaldees' excellency shall be as when power overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
Which, what happened? Fire came down from heaven and turned it into what? A desert. A brimstone. All right? That's what's going to happen to America. It's going to become a lake of fire. And when it's done, it's going to be a desert of brimstone.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 20, it reads, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
From generation to generation, no man will live here. It's done. This place will be a desert. No, forever and ever and ever, no man will live in this land. Go ahead.
Neither there shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there.
See, go ahead. You can drop it now.
Okay.
So no man will live here. All right? And who's going to do it? It's going to be these Russians with the other nations, which are, some are the allies to America and some are the enemies to America, but they're all going to be confederate against America according to the prophecies. All right? And check this out with Putin.
Occult services, all kinds of sorcery. Satanism, occult services, all kinds of sorcerers. Nonsense. They simply mislead people, pushing them into a dark corner, both literally and figuratively, and causing significant...
They push you into a corner to make you desperate. All right? And that's how they're going to try to bring that implantable microchip through deception. They're going to make it look desperate out here. You're going to be pushed against the wall, put in a corner, and they're going to tell you the only way out is to take that chip. All right? But the way we're going out is the Lord is going to take us out. He's going to lift us up into the heavens and change us and give us new bodies that don't die. That's what the prophecies say.
Harm to their moral state, as well as their mental and psychological well-being. This needs to be confronted. The only thing is that it needs to be done carefully, so as not to violate human rights or go too far with restrictions. But it's certainly necessary to continuously analyze what is happening in this area, respond to it, and make timely decisions. We will definitely be addressing this issue. Satanism.
All right, which he's pretty much saying. The wickedness of the West, all right, the wicked witch of the West has to be confronted. As we just read, the Lord's going to cause Russia, which are in the land of the Medes, to confront the whore that rides the beast. And this is why America is not up to the level of Russia with nuclear power, though America spends more money on weapons. All right? In fact, let me pull that up. Let me pull it up. Russia is superior to America pertaining to nuclear weapons. It says here, let me see if I'll read it. No. It says, while Russia possesses a slightly larger overall nuclear warhead inventory, all right, so it's already superior that way. It says the question is superiority, which America has to go into try to argue, all right, but you can see by the numbers that they even give you, all right, Russia is superior to America in nuclear power. That's not by accident. That's by design. Because Russia is going to be the bear that ends this horror. All right, with nuclear missiles. And it's going to be an ally to these other nations like China, South Africa. All right, and even the European Union, they're going to turn its back on the horror and go with Russia. All right, and they're going to shoot nuclear missiles on America. All right? Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I got this, 2 Peter chapter 3. It says the Lord, Yahushua, isn't really being slow about his promise as some people think. No, he is being patient for your sake. He does not want anyone to be destroyed, but wants everyone to repent.
Everyone to repent. And we'll leave it there. Okay. All right? That's the whole thing that the Lord wants, us to come out and tell our people to repent. For the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Soon Yahweh will send his son Yahushua, and that'll be the end of that. Because when he comes back, America's going to be turned into a lake of fire. The elect will be saved, chambered, changed, and then put back down on earth to rule forever. So with that, we give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Aha, Rakak, Qudash. Double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule Great Millstone well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect and the nation of Israel. Wa Abba Babal.
Shalom to the elect.
Khan.